All right, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Amigo like geeks and freaks. What's up, fellow toy collectors? What's up, all the fun people in the world out there? Comics, enjoy movies, Star Wars, superhero, science fiction, horror, fantasy, whatever. Anyway, so today, my daughter and I went out for a bit. Getting close to the holiday, we've been picking things up for friends for gifts, and we stopped at Ollie's, which I guess is a discount store, if you will. They buy stock from other places and then sell it at cheap prices. Not everything's cheap. Some of the stuff is not even discount. I got to be honest with you. But I did pick up a couple things, just a few small things I probably wouldn't have bought, except that the prices were pretty good. The first one is this Boba Fett figure, which I don't seem to have. I know I have the Mandalorian. I don't really collect this series, but it is Boba Fett, and he is able to shoot a little flame out the back there. Pretty cool, I guess. What I don't love about Ollie's are their price stickers. They're the kind that like to go on and don't like to come off, which kind of sucks. But fortunately, on these two figures, I don't care because we're going to open them up today. So these are the Hasbro Dungeons and Dragons figures from the old cartoon. I guess it was the 90s, I guess is when it came out. It's actually, you can see it on Tubi right now. They have a whole channel for Dungeons and Dragons, which is pretty cool, which I actually like. They do a cooking show from Heroes Feast the Cookbook. They do, this show is terrible. It's called Kill Purple Worm Faster or something like that. It's a terrible name for a show. It's not even a good show, but they play like an hour, one like basic round of D&D with some quote unquote famous people. None of them are really famous. They're okay. Some of them you'd recognize. One guy was in Walking Dead. Another one's Seth Green. But other than that, I'm like, I don't even know who these people are. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not in the know. But I like the cartoons. They do show this cartoon, which I forget. I used to watch it as a kid. Not all the time. But it's from the cartoon. We've got Hank. And we have Diana. I also see Bobby was on the back, and I'm sure they probably made the other ones. I have to go look. Maybe I'll look for them if I can find them cheap enough. But I think they also come with a die in here. It looks like there's maybe a 20-sided die with the Diana one and a 8-sided one with Hank. I'm not sure. Yeah, because here with Bobby, looks like there's a 12-sided. So we're gonna open up. I believe there's a die or a dice in here, and the packaging's okay. But this is this Hasbro. No plastic used. No plastic used, except for the glue and the tape, and the shit just doesn't fly today. I mean, way back in the day in the 70s, I remember old companies like Mego used to put their stuff in sealed boxes, and they're worth quite a bit of money now if you can find them still sealed or even loose. Some of the boxes, however, you couldn't see the contents inside. Matter of fact, the first action figure that I ever went to the store for as a kid, I think I was 4, was the Mego Western Series Wild Bill Hickok figure, which I promptly tore the box open, threw it on the ground, lost all the pieces that were in the bag, and just took the figure out. But, it was in that sealed box, which is pretty cool. However, they graduated things and decided to put things into a blister card. Kresge, or Kmart, I guess as they later became known, was very popular for that, and one of the ones that pushed that because you could see what's in there. And I think even though the artwork is fantastic, you have great artwork on a card. You can show what's on the contents of the back, but it's better to have a window, right, to really see what's in there. But I guess Hasbro thought, hey, we're going to save the world, and we're not going to put up too much plastic and all this garbage. And no offense, if you support that, that's perfectly fine. I'm just not into all that shit. Yes, I don't want the planet to be destroyed, but no, the whole going to save plastic by putting action figures in these boxes. Now, the one thing I do remember somebody telling me or talking to some friends about is that these figures have a tendency to not last very long to break. What are you going to do? But they're only going to go out for display purposes, to be honest with you. Maybe there's no dice in here. No, I guess there's not. I thought there was one, but I guess, yeah, there is one in there. Actually, there is. So the figure, it opens pretty easy. 3 cuts, 1, 2, and the third. And the package is open. When you look inside, you have your, I don't know what the hell this is, your Hasbro piece of paper nobody cares about. Looks like the figure's wrapped here. We're going to open up. And I'm not really concerned about retaining them for value. I don't collect toys for resale value. I collect them because they help me reminisce about my past. All right, so let's see what we have here. So here we have Hank, and he's plastic. He's are these O-ring figures? I can't really tell. I'm afraid to kind of bend the knees because of what I've heard, or the elbows for that matter, that these guys don't last too long. I guess we'll see. Head seems to move around. This is kind of a softer plastic, so it's pretty malleable as far as the outfit. His feet are a little dicked up there. Let's see if we can fix those. By the way, if there's kids watching this show, yeah, you shouldn't be watching. I don't think they are, but hopefully. All right, there we go. There's his foot. We are not going to try and bend him at the knee because that looks like that is just, we're going to have to heat him up first, make sure he doesn't break. He's got kind of the hand for holding the arrow because Hank's specialty is he was a ranger and shoot arrow, various types. And here we open up this little bag. Here is his, okay. So here is just his bow that we have, just the bow. And then here is the bow, I guess supposed to be the magic bow, if you will. Sorry, I just did that. Magic bow with the arrow in it. So I guess you can, okay, so you can pose him and get him ready for his archery. Yeah, these things are not very, I don't like the way that these are going as far as bending and so on. So we're going to be really careful. We're not going to bend these anymore. But he does come with this pretty cool little 8-sided die. It's a little smaller than I consider a normal. I mean, dice come in all sizes, but I'd say that's a pretty small one. So there you have him with his bow in. So you can put that in his hand. Will it even go in his hand? Wow, I got to tell you, like, it's a pretty tight fit for some of this shit. That's what she said when Brian Sanchez gets on here. Okay, we got the bow in there. There we go. He's got his bow, got his die, and then we have his magic arrow or magic bow for when he has to attack. All right, so that's Hank. Let's look at Diana. Same thing. Looks like she has a 20-sided die. That should be exciting. So we'll do the one. So the only plastic in this whole thing is the glue for the card and these pieces of tape. Wow, Hasbro, thanks a lot. If you're selling to collectors, I would probably tell you that collectors probably won't open them anyway, so not a big deal. But for children who do want to open them, who probably wouldn't open these because these don't really cater to kids. They don't really watch this stuff. Too old for them. Let's see what we got in here. I think it is kind of cool to put a die in there. I think that's pretty sweet. That's pretty cool. All right, so she is I forget what she was. Whatever she is with the bow staff. I don't know. Maybe Napoleon Dynamite. I'm pretty good with the bow staff. And here she is. Oh, that's actually a pretty good likeness. Wow, man. These figures, these joints are super stiff, and I am not going to risk snapping them. They can be boiled in hot water later to open them. It's a good likeness, I would say. Not bad. And let's see what kind of accessories comes with. Girls only want guys who have great skills. Nunchuck skills, computer hacking skills, bow hunting skills. All right, so we've got her staff. And they use it. I think it's cool. They actually use the colors pretty much right out of the TV show. Then we have what I believe is supposed to be her staff in motion, spinning. Right? Can we do that sound effect again? And here is our 20-sided die. All right, so I guess when you're done, I guess you get a whole dice set and the characters. So these are quite cool. I like them. They're going to go up to display in the game room upstairs, or the toying game room, if you will. I don't really care too much about the boxes or anything. Maybe I'll keep them, but it's really just another piece of cardboard with a bad sticker on it. Now, I checked this out. Ollie's knocked these down. I think these were probably, what, $15, $20 when they went out the store. Ollie's had them for $9.99, and then they marked them to $6.99. So for $6.99, we can do that. I would like to get the rest of them, though, to be honest with you. After watching the cartoon, I'd like to get them. And, man, these stickers from Ollie's are they're a real nasty. Yeah, they're real nasty glue on them. They do not like to come off anything. Real pain in the ass. I guess you could probably hit it with a hairdryer. Take them off if you want to keep it, but I figure if I'm going to keep the cards, oh, look at that. They're coming off. They're very, 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 yeah, I got it. They almost come off one piece, but they got those circles punched out in the middle or perforated so they don't like to come out. And that's to keep people from changing price tags like people started doing back in the day. Because it's so hard in this world just to be honest and to pay for something. So you got to try and cheat the system because you're that much of a dick, right? Just pay the goddamn price. Okay, there we go. So if we get the sticker off, I actually have a nice little piece of artwork. You can see the ride that they're going to, the Dungeons and Dragons ride, and here they are in the cart, if you will, going inside. That's nice. It's not bad. A little QR code. By the way, I give you a little healthy advice. Being in IT, don't just go randomly scanning QR codes. So if you know that it's for sure a safe QR code, by all means. But if you're not sure, somebody says, "Oh, scan this code, get something for free." Don't. It's very easy to make a QR code that just dumps a virus into your phone and then transfers to your computer and all that crap, or somebody else. And yeah, that's how big, massive viruses outwit the dummies in the world. I shouldn't say dummies. It's not very nice, but don't do that. It's not a good idea. I know it seems like, oh, it's great. I can scan this code. Like, no, it's one thing at the place you know is a trusted source, but you wouldn't take candy from a guy in a van that said free candy, would you? Well, some of you might. Got to watch out. It could be Brian Sanchez driving around in his 70s van. He bought it from Uncle Rico. From Napoleon Dynamite, he bought the Uncle Rico van. He spray painted free candy on the side. And so, yeah, he drives around and offers free candy. No, I'm just kidding. If you believe that, you're an idiot. That never happens. Never happened or will happen with my buddy Brian Sanchez, that's for sure. All right, well, I hope everybody's doing well otherwise. Let me get rid of some of this crap. Maybe we'll go on some more figures. I think maybe we will try and get a few more in this line if we can find them cheap enough. I might buy, if I find them really cheap. Yeah, see, I don't like the way these. All right, there we go. The joints just, yeah, you kind of got to give it a little bit of a warm up. Shouldn't have to do that, though. Should be ready to go. For all those people who bought that particular company, toy company, that says, oh, just warm up the figures. It's pretty stupid. You shouldn't have to do that. They should work, right? These things I don't expect much. They did not get high ratings. People did not say how great they were, so I'm not surprised that they're like this. But there you have it. There's 2 members of our team, and the 8 and 20 die that came with it. They're very small dice, by the way. They're undersized, in my opinion. There you have it. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a very, very good weekend. Peace.